Hi families, my name is Holly Compton. I'm the district math coach for Manhattan Beach, and today I'm going to talk to you a little bit about some of the strategies that your child might employ when solving a story problem. So we've been working on counting 1 to 10, and then now we've recently been working on our teen numbers, so 13, 14, 15, so on. And we've also been doing something called 10 frames. So if you've seen this before, you know that this is called a 10 frame. So we have a frame here and it has 5 and 5. And we start asking the kids things all about 10 frames, like what's 1 less than 10? And hopefully they would know it was 9. But we do a lot of visual mathematics. And we also do a lot of math on our fingers. Finger math is hugely important in kindergarten because there's a certain spot in our brains that is just for finger math. And the more you use that, your fingers, the stronger that connection gets in your brain and the better mathematician you end up being, which is actually kind of crazy. So we need to make sure we are allowing our kids to play with their fingers and do math on their fingers if they are attempting to do so. All right, so we're gonna look at a story problem today called Soccer Game. And you'll notice that I have blanks in here and that I have sets of numbers down here. We allow kids to pick sets of numbers that feel just right to them. So it's kind of like Goldilocks, right? You know, you don't want something that's too easy or too hard. You want it to be just right. Just like in their reading, like we want to pick books that are just right. So maybe your child might choose 3 and 2 or 5 and 4 and 5 and 6. I'm going to choose 5 and 4. So if I choose this green set here, or maybe it looks yellow to you, this is the first number in that set. It goes on the first line. This is the second number in the set. It goes on the second line. And they have to stay in order because eventually we're going to get to subtraction and you can't reverse the order. So we just practice putting that in right from the start. All right, so we're going to check this out. There were 5 kindergartners playing soccer, then 4 more kindergartners joined the game. Okay, so it's really important that as we are going over this with our kids, that they stop to imagine what's happening in the story. Okay, so you might read a piece and then ask them to stop to imagine, then read it again. So let's stop to imagine there were 5 kindergartners playing soccer. Okay, have your child stop to imagine. Can you see all those 5 kids? Okay, show me the 5 kids on your fingers. So these are things that you can do as they're visualizing. Then 4 more kindergartners join the game. And the question is, how many kindergartners are playing soccer? Okay, so we would ask them again. So usually we read 2 to 3 times to our early readers. So there were 5 kindergartners playing soccer. You might say, show me those 5 kindergartners. And then 4 more join, show me 4 more. And then we're trying to figure out how many kindergartners are playing soccer. Now, if they're showing you this, some kids might go back and say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And they're going to count one by one. That is totally fine. If they're counting one by one, we should let them count by one. Some people are tempted to say, you can just count all 5 and then count on 6, 7, 8, 9. If they're counting one by one, they are probably not ready for that strategy yet. So we let them count one by one, and eventually they're going to go, oh, that's 5, and then 6, 7, 8, 9. And then eventually they're going to get to, well, that's just 9 because that would make 10, right? So we have to let them slowly make these connections. We're not telling them. We're going to let them make these connections. All right, so that could be one strategy your child would use. If they use that strategy, they should write on their paper, this is how I did it. There's 5 plus 4. And we can even have them start writing 5 plus, or make sure they know that means and. 4 more. And then we don't say equals yet. We say makes. 5 plus 4 makes 9. If they were going to use their 10 frame, that's these guys. By the way, you can print them out on the internet. Super easy. There's you can print 100 of them at a time and just have them go for it. You can also print these and put them in sandwich baggies, like the little snack baggies, and zip them up, and they can use the marker on them. So if you don't want to print them out and have them reuse them or have them use them over and over, you know what I'm saying. All right, so if they were to use the 10 frame for this, they had 5 kindergartners, so they would fill in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then on the same 10 frame, they would fill in the 4 more. 1, 2, 3, 4. They might want to use one color for one of them. So maybe if the 5 goes in red, and then maybe they switch to the blue and put the 4 more in blue so they can actually see that 5 plus 4 makes 9. Some kids may actually want to do this story on the 120 chart. We do lots and lots of counting on there. You can also print out a 120 chart online. And if we were to add 5 and 4, they might start with the 5. Remember how I said we don't tell them to start with the 5, but they might start with the 5 here, or they might say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then add 4 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, and we landed on the number 9. So these are some simple ways that your kids might use these. And then, of course, I want to remind you that your child might employ, let me grab my 10 stick. So if you have these at home, these are a great tool. These are base 10 blocks. You want the ones that snap apart, not the ones that stick together. These are the ones that stick together. You don't want these yet because they need to be able to snap them off and count one by one. Okay, so you want these guys. And they could do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 plus 1, 2, 3, 4. 5 plus 4 makes 9. They could also use these on the 120, or excuse me, on the 10 frame. They could lay them down on there. All right, I hope this helps you with your kindergartner as they are working on their counting. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.